This time of year is the time of year that everybody drops their standards. Driven Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. Today, let's talk about standards, dropping your standards and feeling disappointed with yourself and potentially feeling like shit and crushing your self-worth. That's what's going to happen this time of year. Most people are going to lower their standards. They're going to drop the bar. They are going to overeat, overconsume drugs, alcohol, food, all the rest of the stuff, spend money, just do dumb shit. And they do it and they have an excuse. And the excuse is, well, you know, it's Christmas. I've worked hard all year. They always have an excuse. Now, you know that every time you have an excuse that you are lowering your standards. When you say that you're going to do something and you don't follow through on it, you're lowering your standards. That lowering of standards is going to crush your self-worth, self-confidence, self-love, self-respect, and all the things that are going to make you great. What about all of the people out there right now, and you're probably one of them as well, who you'll make excuses and then justify it, and you'll say, well, everybody else is doing it. Now, if that's you, that's why you're fucking average, right? You probably don't want to hear this, but this is a hard-hitting conversation. Some of you are going to get pissed off and turn this off because you can't handle the fucking truth. And the truth is that every time that you justify that it's okay to keep dropping your standards, you're going to feel like shit about yourself. You're going to feel disappointed. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel ashamed. Now, this time of year is a perfect example of that, right? It gets to around Christmas time and people take their foot off of the gas. I've been having it almost every week with conversations with people coming up to this time of the year. I'll start next year. What, do you think that the decision's going to be easy to make next year? Oh yeah, but it's Christmas time. Are you justifying that it's okay to eat shit now? Is that what you're doing? Is it okay to put on an extra 2, 3, 4 kilos of body fat? Okay. Is it okay to destroy your fucking liver and your brain cells by over consuming alcohol, making yourself feel like shit? You're going to feel ashamed of yourself in the new year, right? You're going to go, thank God that year has gone, thinking that that's going to change anything. And it fucking won't. It won't change anything. Because the core problem is your ability to make good quality decisions, keep your standards high. People fuck this up year after year after year, and it only gets harder as you get older, right? They keep fucking it up because they keep dropping the ball, right? And I only realized this probably about 6 months ago. I looked in the mirror one day and thought, you know what? This is bullshit. I am not where I want to be. I know that our business should be 10 times bigger than what it is right now. And when I searched deep inside, I went, where am I letting my standards slip? And I started tightening up my standards. I stopped letting staff get away with shit. You know, when they would drop their standards and go, oh, I'm just finishing, it's Friday afternoon. I go, well, okay, have you finished all the shit you need to get done? And they're like, oh, no, I was going to do it on Monday. I'm like, no, you won't. You'll do it now. Let's get it done, right? There is no reason. You told me it was going to be done by Friday. It gets done by Friday. Let's go. Now that pisses some people off. And some of you right now who have low standards and who are staff, you'll be sitting there thinking, well, that's not fucking fair. They only get paid until whatever. No, that's bullshit. People get paid in order to deliver value. That's exactly what they do. You know, if you go into a McDonald's and you order, let's say you order a McChicken and they come out and they're like, oh, we don't have any chicken patties. But what we did was we just slammed some lettuce in a bag and that's okay and that's acceptable. You would be pissed as a consumer. Well, a business is a consumer, right? The staff are also consumers. So the business pays staff in order to deliver an outcome to achieve a desired outcome or a desired result. If that result's not getting done, then shame on the staff, shame on management, shame on leadership, right? Because that should be tightened up and it should be improved. But also sometimes that comes down to poor leadership. And I speak to business owners every week who have shitty standards because they're erratic. They don't set effective timelines. They don't know what they want. All of those things cause erratic staff also, right? So both the staff and the leadership team need to work together to raise the standards of the organization. You need good quality leadership and good quality staff that are disciplined and they will get the results. Now, in your own life, if you are undisciplined, don't be surprised if your kids are undisciplined. Do you know how many parents say to me, you know, I just want the best for my kids? And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. And they go, yeah, I do. And I go, what? Hang on, let me get this straight. You're the parent that goes and gets smashed on a Friday night after work when you go to the pub with your buddies. Then you spend the rest of the weekend on sports betting apps, gambling. That's the best for your kids. They're watching what you do. They're going to replicate that shit. I would be fucking humiliated if I was a parent doing that shit. Right? Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you can't change that, but I'm saying that you need to look in the mirror if that's you and go, you know what, I need to fucking change that for my kids. That's going to make you step up and become better. Sometimes a harsh truth is the thing that changes some people and it pisses other people off. Those with low standards and low accountability will get pissed off and they complain about it. I have it every week on my social media where someone goes, well, I disagree with that. And I'm like, listen here, Bob, who's fucking 65, has nothing better to do with their life than complain about the government because your life is so dog shit. You've run out of cash. You're on unemployment benefits. You're fat. You're overweight. You look like shit. I'm glad my taxpayer dollars, the shit that I work extremely hard for, is going towards you, Bob. Thanks. Thanks for hopping on my Facebook page and talking absolute dump. Whereas other people get on there and they're like, you know what? Thanks for the reminder, Mojo. I need a big kick up the ass. And sometimes we do. Right? Parents tell their kids off when their kids are fucking up. That's if they're good parents. But adults don't like people telling them that they're fucking up because it makes them uncomfortable. Right? Now, if that's you and you're feeling uncomfortable in this conversation, that's great. You have two options. You can bitch and moan and complain that I'm a fucking prick, and then you can just become one of the other mediocre fucks out there who just have low standards and cruise through life and just get by. Or you can go, you know what? I am slipping. This is a good kick up the ass. I'm pissed off now, not for Mojo. I'm pissed off at myself because I have let myself slip and it's time to step up. You're the person who's going to crush it in life. You're going to go far because you'll raise your standards. You'll step up. So in life, it is super important to make sure that we're not letting those standards slip. And like I said, I was letting them slip in my business and I was frustrated about my business because my standards were slipping. Now, my standards were slipping because I was letting staff get away with stuff. But the reason why I was letting staff get away with stuff, because I was letting myself get away with stuff as the owner and as the leader. Every week when I have a business owner who comes to me and they're like, my staff are fucking useless. I'm like, no, you're useless. And they're like, no, but I do everything right in the business. And I'm like, okay, what about on weekends? Are you tight on weekends? Do you have high standards on weekends? Are you building your self-worth over the weekends or are you destroying it? Okay, what about after work? What are you doing? Okay. Every time I get a business owner who complains, I'm thinking of one right now. I've known him for many, many years. Every time I see him, he fucking complains about staff. But now he works extremely hard. The problem is though, that he works extremely hard, super frustrated all the time, and his communication skills are shit. His leadership skills are shit. He doesn't work on himself. Mentally, he's erratic. He complains all the time. He's fucking bitter and judgmental towards his staff. Of course they're not going to give him 100%. They think the guy's a fucking asshole. They're just there for a job. And then when they get a better job or they have a better opportunity, they're going to leave. And so he's going to lose good staff. The staff that are shit are going to be the ones who stay there. Why? Because he operates with low standards. He just does not understand that. And that's the majority of business owners. That's why those business owners who invest in themselves, that grow, that better themselves, that keep stepping up, that have a fit, healthy body, that have a great mindset, those who keep working on their leadership skills, their communication skills, those who have a great intimate relationship, those who learn how to understand people better are normally those who succeed the most. Now, if that's not that individual, then they normally hire somebody who is like that. I'm thinking of someone now that I work with. They essentially head a huge organization. Now, their boss is very entrepreneurial and very hardcore, but they tend to be a bit more balanced and a bit more stable. Now, that entrepreneur, though, is very, very smart and they make a lot of money because they're in a very niche market. If they weren't in a niche market, that business would fail because the owner is a bit too hardcore, right? Now, they do have high standards. They also work extremely hard and they're highly intelligent. That helps them get away with a lot also. But they're probably not the most patient person, and that's most entrepreneurs. Okay, but at the same time, if you're a business owner and you're rushing to get results and you're pushing extremely hard, but your communication skills suck, your leadership skills suck, your mindset sucks and you don't work on yourself and you're fat, overweight and look 20 years older than what you are, I guarantee that is going to affect your business massively. Huge, right? And it's going to impact you financially. If you're listening right now and you're someone who works for somebody else, your low standards that you drop in your own life will become low standards in your bank account also. I guarantee it. Every week I have people who reach out to me and they're like, I want to make more money. And I'm like, good. How much do you invest in yourself? How much do you grow? How do you keep yourself tight? What are your vices? And they're like, I watch a lot of porn. And I'm like, all right, cool. So just think about this. Every time you watch porn, you're essentially fucking screwing yourself out of money because that's unproductive time. That shit that you're doing that not only is damaging your mindset, because you're essentially living in a fantasy, but it's also damaging your ability to have a high quality, intimate relationship and understand people better. Don't do it. And then they go, oh, it's easier said than done. And I'm like, well, it's fucking easy to live a mediocre life because most people do. If you don't want to step up and you don't want to push the boundaries, then, just stay mediocre. That's why most people are average, because most people don't want to bite the bullet. Most people don't want to push themselves. Every week I speak to business owners and they're like, I want my business to run better. And I'm like, you need to run better. Here's my coaching prices. And they're like, oh man, that's expensive. And I'm like, so you expect that your staff are going to invest in you and your business and your financial growth, but you won't even fucking invest in yourself. Are you a moron? How dumb are you as a business owner that you will not invest in yourself and you use money as an excuse to not better yourself? No wonder why you have no fucking money to spend on yourself. That's dumb. Okay, so really, this time of year is an amazing, amazing opportunity to see your breaking points. If you are not stepping up and pushing your standards to a whole nother level and breaking those vices and are stepping outside of your comfort zone and are pulling other people up to your standards instead of you lowering your standards to match everybody else's standards. I know every year I have family who all get together and I rock up to family functions. They're like, you want a beer? And I go, no. And they're like, why not? I'm like, because I don't really want a beer. Oh, is everything okay? Yeah, everything's okay. Do things get bad because I don't have a beer? Or is it just bad for you now because you feel like shit knowing that you drink all the time? Which one is it? Right? People lower their standards to fit in with their environment. I don't lower my standards. I make people around me feel like shit, so they raise their standards. They have a choice. When they feel uncomfortable, they're going to have to sit there and go, am I lowering my standards? Do I feel like shit about myself? Or you do what most morons fucking do, and that is judge me and go, oh, he never has any fun. Yeah, I never have fun driving my McLaren, flying business class, living in a fucking wicked house, having an awesome relationship, having a business with clients that I actually enjoy working with, that I enjoy working 80 hours a week because I love what I do. Yeah, my life fucking sucks, right? Do you know how stupid most people are that they even justify that? Oh, he doesn't have any fun because he doesn't drink. Yeah, I don't have fun because I don't drink. Maybe you don't have fun in life, which is why you drink. Okay, that's what most people don't want to hear. So for anyone out there who this is hitting home for, I would love to hear from you. Jump on my Instagram page. Jump across to Michael Mojo on Instagram. Hit me up. Let me know if this fucking hit home. Because it wasn't until one day that someone gave me that harsh truth that I went, you know what? Fuck, I am slipping. Part of the reason why I've just hired only over the last probably 3 to 4 months is a couple of new mentors because I needed to be held accountable. I needed to step up and raise my standards. Imagine having a business coach or a business mentor that just sold a business for $1.2 billion. Right? I feel like the most worthless piece of shit, but it's awesome because it makes me step up. It makes me do better things. Hey, imagine having a personal trainer that was a CrossFit champion. Now, when I say CrossFit, I don't mean like global CrossFit champion. I'm not talking about Matt Fraser or Tia Claire Toomey, although I would love to work with them one day. But my coach, he was a state CrossFit champion back 5 years ago. He had kids and decided that, he wasn't going to dedicate that time. And so he bailed on it. But my point is that for him, clean eating and training and working out and doing things right is just a way of life. So when I go for a quick jog with him and he takes his shirt off and he's fucking shredded, I sit there and I'm like, man, fuck, I got to improve my standards. I got to step up a little bit. Right? So the people that you hang around are who you become, and you're either going to lift people up to your standards or you're going to lower your standards to fit in with them. And that's exactly what most people do. Imagine being the person who lowers their own standards, who lowers their goals, who lowers their expectations in life to try to fit in with those around them by drinking, taking drugs, partying, doing all the shit that most people do, overspending, all of that stuff. You already know what it is because I'm sure you have those vices. Gambling on weekends. I always forget about gambling because I've never done it. I think I put $2 in the pokies once and then I lost it and I was like, fuck this. I work hard to make the money that I've got and I'd rather reinvest it in way better things. I'd rather reinvest it in myself by becoming better than slam it into a gambling app like most fucking people do in our society this day and age. It's crazy. I cannot believe that people gamble. Right? And they don't realize that they are destined to lose. Those same dickheads get on my social media account and they're like, oh, this shit's a scam. It's a fucking ripoff. Yeah, they smash like $500 a weekend on sports betting apps. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Right? Gambling is like the easiest way to make money, right? The easiest way to make money for the casino on the sports betting apps, because they know that most people who use them are fucking idiots, right? They know it's set up to lose. You're set up to lose. So dumb. And then most people are like, oh, what's the best thing to invest in? I'm like, the share market. And they're like, that's risky. $500 a weekend, bang, gone on sports betting apps. Jeez, fuck. Crazy. But anyway, look, you have to be okay with you. You live to your own standards. You know whether you're stepping up to those standards. You know whether you're matching those standards, or you know whether you're dropping your standards. You know that because you are either feeling good about yourself or you're not feeling good about yourself. You're either feeling great about life or you're not feeling good about life. You're either stepping up and are working towards your goals, or you're just consistently fantasizing about them. And most people just fantasize about their goals. Every week I get it. Oh, I'm going to buy a supercar one day. I'm like, no, you won't, buddy. Believe me, you won't. Okay? I don't like telling people that because I don't like dashing their dreams. But the truth is that unless you get your shit together and are prepared to step out of the average and do shit that's uncomfortable and do stuff that most people won't do, then you're never going to be any different. Right? Those people that I know and that I've worked with that are rich, that are fit, that are healthy, that have great relationships, they do the things that other people won't do. Right? I was talking to a guy the other day. He's worth well over a couple $100 million. And he's like, yeah, we've got a relationship coach. And I was like, cool, that makes sense. That's why your relationship's good. And he's like, yeah, that's why also we've got business mentors. We have people around us. And he's like, that's why I like catching up with you, because you stimulate my thoughts. You make me think differently about things. This is a guy who's got businesses that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's smart enough to hire those people. Right? I meet people all the time. They're like, my relationship fell apart. And I'm like, well, did you have a coach? Oh, no, that sort of stuff's not for me. And I'm like, yeah, but fucking divorce is, you dickhead. Oh, fuck. What is wrong with people? Okay. I want to make more money. Go and learn about investing. Go read a book. Oh, I don't like reading. The fuck is wrong with you? Right? A book is getting in your way to making money. It's like the easiest fucking thing that you can do is read a book. Oh, no, I don't really have time for that. But you got time to watch 8 hours worth of football on the weekend. Jeez, no wonder why you're broke. You're not broke in your bank account. You're broke in your head. That's why. Anyway, guys, got to step up those standards. Keep them high. You know whether you're living up to your standards. You know whether you're keeping on top of shit. You know that whether you're expanding and growing. If you're constantly making decisions that are uncomfortable, that are testing you, you're growing. If you're making comfortable decisions that are easy to make all the time, I guarantee you're going backwards, and it's not until you hit rock bottom that you're going to figure that shit out. Right? So crazy. That's why it's super inspiring to work with people when they're like, you know what? I've got to do this. I've got to change. And I'm like, fucking sweet. They're at that point now where they've realized that if they don't start making uncomfortable decisions, they're never going to get anywhere in life. I make them every day. Great business owners make them every day. They've got to keep making uncomfortable decisions. They have to let go of non-performing staff. That's uncomfortable. They have to hire people before they're ready. They have to go through all the pain and the rigorous testing of making sure that staff are high quality when they're onboarding them or when they're bringing them into the company. They're making sure that the people that they surround themselves with aren't toxic. They have to say to people all the time, look, I don't have time to catch up. Look, I don't have time to go and do that. Okay, they're the same people that if they're fit and jacked and feel great about themselves, they're not going and blowing a heap of cash on alcohol on the weekend and overeating food and shit because they'll feel crap about themselves. Right? I worked with an investment banker who is absolutely, obliterating it in life. But for him, I mean, he'll have a little bit of wine on the weekend or something like that, but he will just eat whatever he has to in order to fuel his body the best way. He's tried being vegan. He's tried being paleo. He just tries all this shit to see what will optimize his energy the most. Right? He wakes up at a set time. He goes to bed at a set time. He'll only hang out with people who add value to his life and stimulate his thinking. He will not hang out with people who dramatize shit, who cause problems. He just does not do that. If you do not add value to his life, he will not be around you, full stop. But that's why he makes, like the year that I worked with him, this is about 5 or 6 years ago, he made about $5 million personal income. That's what he banked and took home, right? That's not what the company made that he owns. That's just what he took home, right? It's fucking awesome. So my question to you is, where are you dropping your standards? Where do you need to tighten them up? Christmas and the new year or the festive season is the perfect time to see your breaking points. And it's the perfect time to realize that you need to tighten shit up and step up. I will not break. Like, over the Christmas break, I will not break. I'm going to keep training. I'm going to keep exercising. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing the shit that I enjoy doing because that's the life that I've created, which is the life that I love. I will not do what most people do and go on holidays, get fat, be lazy, fucking destroy my mental health, have arguments with people that I care about. I will not do that. But I guarantee most people who are listening to this probably will do at least one, if not multiple things. I will not take drugs. I will not do any of that shit. In fact, I've never taken drugs, but I will not do any of that stuff because all it does is it starts to create bad habits or it creates vices, which are a pain in the ass to try to break. Right? It's not worth it. Momentum is one of the greatest things that you can have on your side, providing everything's going uphill and in the right direction. If momentum starts going downhill, that's a motherfucker and you got to stop it real quick. Most people push and work really, really hard to get the momentum going uphill. And then when everything starts going well, they stop and then they let shit slide. And then all of a sudden they start going downhill and they don't realize it until they hit rock bottom. They keep thinking, I'll change something in the future. I'll change something one day instead of making the change today. Anyway, Driven Mofos, never lower your standards. Keep them high. You know, this is the community of people with high standards. That's why you're listening to this podcast. That's why you come to my events. That's why we do one-on-one coaching. You know, if you're listening to this, you're in the community for a reason. You probably have very high standards and are looking to step it up. Okay, keep pushing hard. Don't break. Stay true to your standards. Keep pushing and pull other people up to your standards. If not, let them fall to their own standards and stay the fuck away from them. Anyway, Driven Mofos, have a great day. I look forward to seeing you back here once again for another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.